Joining us in studio, a veteran of the Run Wild podcast. I'm joined fresh off her championship, Kelsi Ebert. Kelsi, welcome.
Thank you, Gabe.
So I did a little something. I wanted to show this to you. Tell me what you think of it.
Looks right to me.
Uh-huh.
Hilbert National Champion. That'd be cool.
So for our TV audience, I printed out my bracket, and it shows Hilbert going all the way to the championship. I think that's what's going to happen. What needs to happen on the court for this to become a reality?
We need to play every game like we played our championship game. I think that was the best team effort we had this year, and our assists were higher than our turnovers, and everyone scored. It was just a really exciting game.
So this whole season, you guys, your guards, you make shots. Taylor makes shots. Abby can make shots. Well, I think, to me, the story has really been about the defense. Where did that mentality start?
That started with Coach in the beginning of the season when we were learning, how she likes to coach and her philosophies. She was really defense-oriented, and she instilled that in our program, and that became our main focus, and that's why we held teams to the least amount of points scored in the AMCC this year.
And that semifinal game, you guys weren't shooting particularly well, but you held them, I think it was to 49 points.
Yeah, something like that.
And so I think that's what will possibly give you a shot to maybe not win it all, but maybe upset a couple of these better teams. Right. So coming into the season, you didn't even know who your coach was. They hired, what's her name?
Amy.
They hired Amy,
Sennefelder.
3 days before the season actually started?
Yeah.
What was that like?
That was a bit rocky, that time period when we didn't have a coach and we were kind of at odds with each other from fundraising.
You mean players-wise?
Yeah. There was just a lot of emotions going on with losing the coach who took us to the playoffs for the first time, and just we were so excited to have a blowout year with the same coach. It all worked out in the end, but we were really nervous, especially knowing that there were so many candidates that were either turned away or turned down the job. And so we were getting really nervous, and it was down to the wire, 2 games before the season started, or 2 days before the first practice when she was hired. And
right.
It was really scary, but it all worked out.
Clearly it did. What did Coach Amy do to instill confidence in the team and to gain your guys' trust?
Well, the first day we met her, it was with upperclassmen, and Taylor joined in, and we just sat down and talked to her and got to know her a little bit, talked about the dynamics of the team, how many returners we had, which was everyone except our freshman class, and then we talked about who takes a leadership role, and we just tried to introduce her to the team a little bit because she didn't know a lot coming in, but she just was really open and really personable. She told us a lot about herself, and she was just open right off the bat.
What's something that maybe we wouldn't know just watching her coach that you can share with us?
If she wears long sleeves, she has tattoos on her arms.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Little inside information.
Yeah, she wouldn't take her long sleeves off the first few practices because she didn't want us to know.
Keep it professional and
yes.
everything. Okay, I respect that. What's she like as a coach? Because we watch her from the sidelines. She seems pretty intense.
She is intense, but it's all in good fun, and she's really funny.
Is fun the right word?
She's really funny.
Okay.
I mean, she gets intense during games, but it's nothing she's not yelling at us. She's just yelling to us, encouraging us, and just telling us to do what we know how to do. Would
you say she's the Bill Belichick of the AMCC?
Probably.
Okay. Spencer calls you the GOAT all the time.
Yeah, he does.
You're not fond of that?
I don't know. He also thinks LeBron's the GOAT, so I don't like to be called the GOAT too.
Oh, no. Oh, we just started a beef here.
You should probably edit that out.
No. I also like watching you guys play. Clearly, you're the main ball handler. But you guys pass a lot. You do that extra pass a lot. Gives your bigs a lot of open looks. Where did that? What started that?
I think just experience. In the beginning of the season, we forced up a lot of shots. We started off rocky with our losses in our tournament at Virginia, and then a couple of losses at home that were non-conference. But as soon as conference play started, I think we had more confidence and more experience together. and we just moved the ball better because we were all confident to make good passes.
Right, because in the beginning of the season, it was, I don't want to say ISO necessarily, but it was a lot of 1v1 stuff, and then you'd jump, you'd jack up a shot, and we're all looking at each other like,
Yeah.
Wasn't Taylor wide open in the corner?
We just weren't very collected. But once we got more comfortable with our plays and with each other, it just opened up the whole ball game.
What would you say was the turning point in the season?
Well, for me, I think it was the conference play. Like, getting down to the wire, knowing that, like, non-conference games weren't necessarily unimportant, but they didn't affect our record for the conference, obviously. So I think once the conference play started, we just had more confidence, and we we scouted the other teams. Non-conference, we didn't do much scouting, so we really knew our opponents in the AMCC play.
Okay. Have you been scouting for, what is it, TCNJ, the College of New Jersey?
Yeah, we watched a couple of their games on film, and we looked up their roster. We're pretty confident.
Okay. Kelsi, do you regret coming back for your senior year?
No, definitely not.
Because our last time when we had you on, you were kind of wishy-washy in between.
Yeah.
But I think you've clearly made the right decision.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there anything that you'd like to do different, you think?
That I'd go back and do
Right.
different?
Sorry, I should have phrased that better.
No, not at all. I mean, I was nervous to come back this year, especially once we learned that Coach Graham was leaving and things got rocky. At first, I was just like, this isn't going the way I wanted it to. And, of course, like, paying more money for school, it wasn't ideal. But I did get more out of my education with my minor in psychology. And I don't regret it at all. I would do the same thing over again.
I think you started off the season 0-3 in that Virginia tournament. Was there any moment during that phase where you were having second doubts, a little bit of regret, or no?
I wouldn't call it regret. I would just say I was really nervous for how the season would go at that point, but I knew, like, everyone was nervous. We weren't collected. We didn't know our plays that well. And we were all still transitioning with the new coaching philosophies and a new coach. And I had confidence that she'd bring us together after that tournament, which she did.
Okay. So this is your senior year, obviously. You won't be back next season. How do you see the Hawks doing next season?
I'm confident that they'll be ranked number 1 in the preseason polls, and they have a certain reputation to uphold, but I think they're going to do really well, especially with Coach Amy still here. We're going to do good.
In the preseason, you were ranked 7th?
Yep.
Which would be second to last, I believe? Or are there 10
I think
teams?
there's 10 teams.
There are 10 teams, so
Third.
Either way, toward the bottom. And all over Twitter, I kept seeing 7th place who. So was that was clearly...
a trending hashtag with our team. Just with our team. But, yeah, in our huddle, we always would say F 7th place. We said it right before the championship in our breakout huddle for the game. And it's kind of been a motivator. I don't think it had the effect that the conference wanted it to have on us. They were like, oh, yeah, you guys ended in a tie for 6th place last year for playoffs, so we're going to rank you 7th. We don't think you're good enough. So it really motivated us and lit a fire under us to prove everyone wrong.
Who do you think was one of the main motivators? Who's that fire in the huddle?
I'd like to say it's a mix of a few people. I think I motivate everyone just because I want everyone to do well. I'm not someone who goes on the court looking for my stats or anything like that. I want to win. And I think I really motivate those around me to win. And when I'm fired up, it's just like a chain reaction. It's like dominoes. Someone else gets fired up. We all start hyping each other up, and we all talk.
I think, so you say that now, but I think the actions speak louder. I think you have 10 players, 4 players scoring double digits. KP's boarding at like 9.6, 9.7. And you have about 20 more assists than the next closest AMCC player in the whole league.
I didn't even know that.
I do my homework.
I knew I led the conference in assists per game, but it's not, like I said, it's not a stat line I was looking to uphold. It's just I'm always looking for that open person.
Just make the right basketball play.
I just want the ball to go in the hoop no matter whose hands it comes from.
And stop the other team from scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point of this game.
Yeah, defense wins championships, so.
What's life for Hilbert going to be like after?
After the season?
Yes, after the semester, sorry.
I think that there's going to be a lot of work they need to do in the off season. You're talking like basketball-wise,
yes.
right? Yeah, they're going to need to do a lot of work in the off season, but they have so many skills that they just need to add on and play with more confidence next year. And a few more people need to step up and take leadership roles. I think we'll only have 2 seniors next year, so they'll probably naturally fall into it, KP and Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
So
it'll be this year. It's a very sophomore-heavy team, right?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they're pretty much all sophomores. But they stepped up and took a huge role this season. And last year, I think they were a little nervous, obviously being freshmen. But they really learned the ropes, and they got a lot of experience. So next year as juniors, I think they can dominate the conference.
Who do you have as a potential breakout player who maybe didn't have as big a role this year but will next season?
I think everyone has the potential to be honest. But in the off-season work that I see through my own eyes, and I know who works hard, I really think Emily Gallak can have a huge breakout season next year. She did this year. She improved tremendously from her freshman year, and she has a lot of confidence, so I think she'll probably lead the team next year.
What helped in a couple of the conference games was her one-man press.
Yeah.
It would be
her full court pressure.
Right. I think there were a couple times she would score 3 buckets back to back just off of that alone.
Just in transition. No one can catch her. She's the fastest person in the conference.
And her shooting's improved a lot from last season, too. So I think that's a good pick. What about for you personally? What's life for Hilbert going to be like?
Well, I would like to stay a part of the program, especially seeing how much it improved from my freshman year. From 3 wins my freshman year to 20-plus my senior year. It's been growing, and I'd like to see where it can go from here, and I'd like to be a part of that change. I don't know what my future holds, career-wise or job-wise within the next year, but if there was a spot for me to help out either in practices or actually coming on as an assistant, I'd like to do that.
Okay. Do you have any closing thoughts or anything you want to thank or share?
I have 7th place.
I love it. This has been Kelsi Ebert. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks.